Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and it's Christmas! So my first Christmas recipe of the season is Stollen. So Stollen is a German sort of hybrid cake bread thing with tons of fruit in it. It's delicious. In fact, I mentioned it to Mrs. KeefCooks this morning that I was going to do this, and she was like, oh wow, my favourite thing. So before I start, I'll do a few shout outs. Mishka requested shout out for Ryan and Sam, who just got married. Congratulations, guys. Also for Callum Wilshaw and his girlfriend Jane, and also for Chef Dan Smith, an ambitious young fellow up there in Middlesbrough. Sorry mate, it's not a Parmo, but maybe another time. Anyway, Stollen, like most breads, takes a bit of time, but that's mainly just waiting for it to rise. But it's worth it because it's utterly fabulous. So ingredients for Stollen, I've got 500 grams of strong white bread flour, 100 grams of caster sugar, powdered sugar, a sachet of active dried yeast, a teaspoon of salt, 150 grams of softened butter, not melted, but soft enough to work with, 250 mils of whole milk, a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a teaspoon of ground cloves, a few drops, well, probably half a teaspoon of almond essence, 55 grams of chopped almonds, these are flaked, but I will chop them, 200 grams of raisins, 100 grams of currants, 125 grams of mixed peel, 225 grams of marzipan, and a bit more butter, well, about 50 grams, a couple of ounces extra butter to melt on it at the end, and some extra sugar as well. Right, so, seems like a lot of ingredients, but it's not really. Let's get going. So to start making the dough, I'm going to sift the flour into a big bowl. Whoops. And sift in the powdered sugar, add the yeast, and the salt. Paul Hollywood, Great British Bake Off judge, always says put the yeast on one side and the salt on the other. I've no idea why. I frequently don't do that, and it makes no difference that I can discern. Anyway, what do I know? Give those a good stir, and then we want to work in the butter. So I'm going to break it into little bits. So like making a cake dough, you just rub in the butter with your fingertips, not your whole hands, because you don't want to melt the butter. And now we'll add the milk. And stir that all together. So there we go, that's quite a stiff dough. And you want to tip it out onto your worktop. Have a bag of flour handy, because you might need to flour it. And then knead it till it's quite smooth. So there's the dough. And now we're going to add all the other things. The spices. Don't forget the almond essence. I think I should have added that before, actually. But anyway. And sort of make a well in the centre. Oh, I can smell the almond. Delicious. And we'll add the fruit and the peel. And get them all worked in so they're more or less evenly distributed throughout your dough. And don't forget the chopped almonds. So here we go, our lovely spotty dough. And now I'm going to pop that in the bowl. Whoa. Cover it with plastic film and stick it somewhere warm to rise until it's doubled in size, which may take an hour, may take 2, might take all night, because this is what's known as an enriched bread dough, as in it's got stuff in it, and enriched doughs always take longer than just the plain stuff. So we'll come back when that's ready. Okay, it's actually the next day, and I left it overnight. So it has risen, but it's not soft and squidgy like you would expect from regular bread. However, It will work. It will work. We need to roll it out into basically a rectangle. Now, a lot of people do their Stollen as just a loose, well, a free-form roll without a tin. And I don't want to do that because they always end up flat, not round, and not good eating really. So I like it more loaf-shaped. So I'm going to use a tin, which I've greased with butter. So roll it until it's like the width of the tin. I might have some left over from this, and if I do, I'll probably just make some little buns of Stollen. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So I'm just going to trim the edges so they're nice and straight-ish. So those are my buns. Now I'll just put the dough on one side and roll out the marzipan. And we're just going to roll this out to make a rectangle about the same size as the Stollen dough. So you want some melted butter and just coat the dough and then pop the marzipan sheet on. That's a bit overhanging there, so we'll relocate that there. And now just roll it up. I'll stick that in my tin. Still too long. Oh dear. Right, get in. Now you want to cover that with plastic wrap and leave it in your warm place to rise again. Maybe an hour or two, and it won't double in size, but don't worry about that. Right, we're ready to bake the Stollen. I wouldn't say that's risen tremendously or even at all, but you know, I'm going to bake it anyway. So I've got the oven preheating to 170 degrees Celsius, or for a fan oven, or 190 if it isn't. Don't ask me about gas. You shouldn't bake with gas, it's rubbish. Anyway, these need to go in for about an hour, then we'll check them. Bake, baby, bake! Here's my Stollen, and it's had 50 minutes actually, and if you stick a skewer in and it comes out dry, then it's cooked. Okay, got the Stollen out of the tin, and I'm just going to brush it with even more melted butter, and calories be damned, it's Christmas, you're allowed. I mean, I don't actually bother about calories the rest of the year either that much, but you know, it's all good stuff, in moderation. Now a good old sifting of caster sugar, powdered sugar. Yum, yum, yum. Now we have to let that cool down, and then we can eat it. Right then, let's taste the Stollen. Just get rid of the excess sugar and cut it in half. Ooh, that looks great. You can see the swirl of marzipan in the middle, and oh yeah. Oh, that's unbelievable, wonderful, fabulous. Make it. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed it. Now please share it with all your friends on social media. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Feel free to leave nice comments. Don't bother with trolling or abuse, because we don't tolerate that around here. And thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas! Anyway, oh.
Anyway, his missus has just come in and she's just eaten the absolutely fabulous Stollen, and she's hoping that there's some more, but she's going now because she's putting him off.